welcome to Box and Bants. Kieran here, and we're back again in lovely Dunleary. Not so sunny today. With Jason Quigley, former silver world medalist. So Jason, first of all, thanks for coming and meeting me.
No problem, thank you.
Nice to see this part of the country, the richer part of the country. You know? I think the parking tickets about 12 euro for half an hour.
Don't know what I'm doing here.
So yeah, obviously different. You've been in all different parts of the globe now, pretty much. In regards to Donegal, how's this place treating you?
Yeah, well, Dublin's a familiar home to me as well, because obviously I've been in the national Irish team since I was 11 years of age. So it's very familiar to me up here, and very happy and very delighted to be back closer to home as well. I come up here to Dublin on a Monday and I go back home on a Friday, and that bit of time at home every week, it makes all the difference. You know what I mean? And I'm a very family man. I love my home, and it means a lot to me, and to have that back in my career and in my boxing and in my life, it has really helped me.
I suppose as well, the fact that you're only at the weekends, if you are going home, you're only doing the little drive, whereas flying, I don't think people realise the wear and tear it has on you, flying every couple of weeks and that, what it takes out of you.
Yeah, it's like, obviously when I moved, L.A was massive. Like, it was a massive move, it was a massive commitment. Flights were expensive, the times were crazy, the time difference, everything like that. There, you're in a completely different world to Donegal. You know what I mean?
It's very rare one flight to get home. It's multiple flights.
Then you have the likes of them when I moved to Sheffield. Like, it was a lot easier because it was a lot shorter commute. It was a shorter flight. It wasn't as much. But at the end of the day, it's still catching flights. It's still a full day out of your schedule, really. And catching a flight isn't the same as catching a bus. Like, if you miss a flight, you can't just jump on the next one. Like, the prices have gone way through the roof, and there mightn't be another one that day. And you know what I mean? It's crazy. And just having that bit of freedom and having that bit of comfort to know that my car is there. If I want to go home tonight, I can go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's having that. Not that you want to do that, but it's just having it, knowing that it's there. It's very calming and peaceful to have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So obviously now you're training with Andy Lee. I've seen a couple of clips of you and Paddy training there, a lovely little old school little gym.
Yeah.
So how's that being at the moment now, just with the two of you training mostly, and obviously Andy taking the mantelpiece?
Yeah, like me and Andy have known each other through the years. We've been in touch through the years, and to be working alongside Andy now is it's a pleasure. Like, it really is. It's very enjoyable. It's very educating. In a lot of ways, and to be honest, I'm just really enjoying going to the gym, working in the gym, busting your balls in the gym. I'm just really enjoying the whole aspect of it all again, and it's a pleasure to be in there with Andy, and we have Paddy in there as well. He's a phenomenal talent, and the two of us work well off each other, and it's a great atmosphere. It's a great buzz. And it's a nice close buzz as well, because there's not like 5 to 10 boxers in there. It's just me and Paddy and Andy and Rob in there as well, and we're all working well. We have good relationships, and it's good fun.
You spoke about when you were in Sheffield, like your style. Obviously, Dominic kind of brought you back to kind of the more simpler things that you were good at the start. And a lot of the lads in the Sheffield gym, in the Ingle gym, a lot of them get. I suppose people would say that they have a similar style. A lot of them, some single shots, counter punch, and things like that. What is it now that Andy's doing with you in terms of your style? Is there anything that's really changed?
Yeah, there's been a few wee things that have changed. Nothing dramatic. It's just about fine tuning the things. Do you know what I mean? It's about using the right tools at the right time, keeping yourself nice and relaxed and composed. And I don't want to give away too much what we're working on either. Do you know what I mean? Like we're working on a few simple, small things that'll make a massive change. And I can see already that a few of them things are working. You know, I'm inspiring, doing the pads, bags, everything like that. Even then when I'm shadowboxing, I can find myself doing the little moves and things like that. So I can find the things working, and I'm not doing them because Andy's telling me to do them as well. Just I'm doing them because Andy is telling me, but they feel right. They feel like it's a positive added to my armour, and it feels like it's going to get me that little step further, that little bit higher, and everything. You know what I mean? So it's really working really, really well. And as I says, the key thing for me is that I'm really enjoying it again.
Yeah. Andy Cunningham said that when you were trained together, he said it in an interview, there was a couple of things, like little small, like you said, little tiny niches that you were like, I've never done this before, and he couldn't believe it. He was like, I don't know who's been training, but these are like small, obviously in the pro game they seem small, but they actually are quite big things in the pro game. Is there anything in particular that you could tell us?
Like the things are like boxing's a simple game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can only throw so many shots. You can only defend yourself so many ways. People try to complicate the sport of boxing, you know, thinking of all these different techniques, all these different styles, all these different whatever. Boxing is a very simple game. It's about keeping it simple and understanding it, and just little things that me and Andy have been working on is just kind of relaxing myself a wee bit more when I'm in there, not being too tensed up, too tight, you know, too hyped up in the moment. Do you know what I mean? Just relaxing and flowing through the rounds instead of fighting your way through the rounds. I know I am boxing and I am fighting, but instead of fighting your way through the rounds, it's about flowing your way through the rounds and doing what you want to do and being relaxed doing it. And that's just one or two of the simple things that we have been working on, and I can see these things coming together, and I can see them benefiting my game, which is the key, like, you know. And as I say, look, it's all about getting in there. It's about, I've always wanted this, I've always been determined to become world champion, and it's about getting that out of me. And for a while, like, I have been a little bit, it's like your fire's dampened a little bit, you know what I mean? And I don't know exactly what that was it being away consistently from home, because the weekends are killers, like, you know what I mean? You're away from home and you're sitting in an apartment on your own. It's tough going, like, you know what I mean? And you need that balance, and you need that separation away from boxing. Even if you're in training camp, you need that separation away from boxing as well, because people get so caught up in the whole boxing game sometimes, and you know, they think, for me, I live a clean life, don't drink, don't mess around, I'm freaking in my bed early, eat the right foods. I don't need to be taken away from my home to be disciplined. I am disciplined, and that's where you see the majority of training camps, is to get the boxer away from his home comforts, to get him away, to keep him away from going out with his friends, or going out at the weekend for a few pints, or going down to the local takeaway on a Wednesday evening or something like that. You know what I mean? That's the reason for a lot of training camps. But for me, I live my life clean. You know what I mean? I don't go out, I don't drink, don't smoke. I live a good, clean life, disciplined life, and the more that I have my home around me, the more happier I am inside, and it all blends together nicely, and it's all about getting that balance. But it's only through time that I've learned that that's the way it is for me. Like, I've always thought that, you have to be away in training camp, and you have to be, you know, freaking missing home and doing all this here. You don't have to be. Like, some people have to be to keep that hunger, to keep that drive in them, but if you have that hunger, you have that drive inside you already, you don't need that. Some people need that to get that, to get that hurt, to be able to get into the ring and have, well, I've been through hell to get here. And I don't need to be through hell to want to fight. I know what I want. I know how much I have to go through to become world champion, and I'm willing to do that. So for me, it's about being in my kind of my happy place. Like it sounds like Happy Gilmore here. Do you know what I mean? But it's about being in your happy place, enjoying what you're doing, but not getting that mixed up with taking it easy and being soft. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about getting that fine balance, and it's hard to get sometimes. But thankfully, I'm feeling like it's that balance is starting to come together nicely for me.
Like when you lived in LA, like there's a saying, everyone in boxing knows it, Marvin Hagler always said, it's hard to get up in the morning and go for a run when you're wearing silk pajamas. And when you turned over and you were in LA, you said, the way you were treated before you even had your first fight, you felt like you were already famous, and you said the way you lived your life, in terms of you had your apartment and it was literally right in Venice Beach, and you felt like you were already a multiple-time world champion. And also on top of that, when you turned over, everyone was pipping you. It was almost like you were expected to get a world title straight away. Like he needs to get one straight away. Do you think that kind of affected your mindset at that time in your career?
It could have done, you know what I mean. And there's a lot of things that can come into that factor, like all those things as you mentioned, and then obviously then the little things of being in my own apartment all the time. It was a weird feeling because I was in a beautiful apartment, driving a beautiful car, and probably one of the best parts of the world. And I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
It was like I was doing my own head, and I was like, "What's wrong? You have everything going for you. Like, why are you not happy, or why is this not feeling good?" And look, every single human being is different. That's why we're all so unique. We're all so special. It's because every single one of us is different. You're drinking a coffee, I'm drinking a tea. There's one difference right away. Do you know what I mean?
Decaf.
Everybody is so different.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because people think that because we're humans, we're all the same, and we can be very similar in certain ways. We all hurt, we all cry, we all get sad. We have a lot of similarities and a lot of things that's very relatable with each other. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that's going to make you happy that won't make me happy. There's a lot of things that's going to make you sad that won't make me sad, and vice versa. So we have to understand, and we have to go out there and find the things in life that do work for us. Try not to be listening and being influenced by too many people, because hey, that's probably nearly impossible, and nowadays with the likes of Instagram and social media and things like that, it's hard to not be influenced by things, and not think that this is the right life to live, because look at them, look how many likes they're getting, and look at all the comments and things. Do you know what I mean? You have to understand what works for you, what makes you happy. And as I says too, life is very similar to boxing. The simpler you make it, the easier and the happier that it is.
Yeah.
And it's just a thing for me that, like at the time when I was turning pro with Golden Boy, and as I says to you earlier on, pro debuts in the MGM Grand Las Vegas under the Canelo Lara undercard, it's like any young fellow would have jumped at that opportunity.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I loved it, I enjoyed every single minute of it, and everything went great. But then when time went on and things started to settle down, this just doesn't feel right for me. Like, this just doesn't hit home with me. This isn't me. Like, this isn't what works for me. And that was very difficult for me, because everybody looking in was like, "Geez, Quigley's living the life." And I'm thinking, no, I'm not. You know what I mean? Like, it might look like, but I'm not. So it was a difficult time, but it's a time that I would never change, because it really molded me and matured me and helped me understand myself a lot better. And you know what I mean? It was tough times, but it was tough times in nice places as well. You know what I mean? Like, I got to experience a lot of nice things and do a lot of nice things in life. And don't get me wrong, like L.A. and everything like that's amazing, but I'd rather sit here in Dublin and Costa any day. You know what I mean? Like, or back home in Dublin.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's a crazy feeling, but as I say, you just need to find what makes you happy, what works for you, not what other people tells you. Like, don't be going off the thing that well, I need to do this because such and such a person says that this is the right thing for me. Only you know what's right for you. What you feel in there is the only thing that will be right for you, because nobody else can feel what you're feeling, and that's how simple it is.
I think people also get mixed up with happiness with success, and they're searching for success, and they think that that's the same as happiness. And yes, it gives you freedom and relieves a lot of financial burdens, but a lot of them at the end of it, you know, have they really pursued what makes them happy? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, sorry. So what I was going to say was
Back to boxing.
Yeah. when you like, were you kind of relieved after you lost, in terms of, because obviously then the critics come out every time a boxer loses, the critics come out and go, right, well, maybe he's not going to be a world champion, etc., etc. Were you was that kind of a relief for you to now kind of kick on and now prove people wrong? Because is that kind of the feeling that you're getting now that after you've lost?
To be honest, it was a very funny feeling that I got when I lost. And of course, I was devastated, and I was very disappointed that night and the next day and everything. But I think I was so I don't know. I was very flat for that fight. Like, do you know what I mean? I was. The fire just wasn't flaming inside me for that fight, and it was a weird feeling. I still can't put my finger on it. Like, it was a weird feeling. The whole loss, and this is going to sound silly, but it didn't feel like I lost, because I just knew that there was something not up there. There was just something not right there. Like, there was just. It's so weird and it's so hard to describe it, but it was nothing that I ever expected to feel. Like, I thought that once I got beat, like, or if I ever did get beat, I'd be like, geez, that was the end of the world for me. Like, whereas I found it didn't really make an awful difference to me. Don't get me wrong, it still hurts me that I've got beat, and what hurts me probably more is that I got beat when I know I could have did a lot better. Do you know what I mean? That's what probably hurts me the most. But look, shit happens, and it did happen. I got beat. I didn't perform well. Turiano performed great. He had a great victory. Everything looked amazing for him, and you know, I still wish him the very best. I hope he goes on. I hope he can fight for a world title, and I hope he can win a world title, because I do think he has the capability of challenging and you know, causing problems for those bigger guys up there, and he deserves it. Like, cause he's gone through a tough time. He was mandatory for Golovkin, got injured, couldn't go ahead with that fight. You know what I mean? So he's had his stumbling blocks in his career, and you know, I wish him all the best. But you know, the best is yet to come for me. Do you know what I mean? And it's a matter of me just getting things right and getting things together, which I feel is happening. And you know, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to getting back in the ring again. You know what I mean? I'm looking forward to getting back in there and doing what I do best, and enjoying it.
It's very possible though that you can do a full circle and come back to it, because you know, obviously it's not. It wouldn't. It doesn't mean everything for you to have a rematch. It's like, obviously, definitely not immediately, but sometimes it happens. You look Luke Campbell when he lost to Tete, you know, Shane McGuigan was saying that, he said, you know, when you look at that fight, so many things that Luke didn't do that he could have done, and he knew that when he walked out. It was like, it was a strange feeling for him. And then he went away, he changed his trainer, and he probably had about, I'd say, 4 fights, and then he fought again, and it was a totally different fight. You know, now, not saying that has to happen. You know, so many world rankings and so many people in the mix in middleweight, but it could definitely happen down the line. You know what I mean? Is that something that you would love to do, or are you more kind of a piece at it and going, look, we don't have to do the rematch, we can?
The way that I look at it, I want to be world champion, and whether Turiano is going to be a part of that journey of me becoming world champion again, so be it. Do you know what I mean? It's a matter if he is going to get in my way of becoming world champion. Is the case, will it happen again? Deep down inside me, I would like to right that wrong. No matter if there's a world title on the line, or if he's in my way or not. You know, that's just I think that's the fighter in you. That's the drive in you. I would love to right that wrong. Do you know what I mean? And get that victory over him. You know, but if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's so many paths to becoming a world champion nowadays, and that's obviously the great thing too about boxing. Like, you could get defeated 1 or 2 good fights, and you could be fighting for a world title again.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing about boxing, and that's what makes boxing so exciting, and that's why the fans love boxing, because people can be destined to be world champion, and it could end with one shot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a crazy game. It's a mental, mad, weird game that we're in, like, do you know what I mean? And I think that's what makes it so exciting and so enjoyable.
Yeah. I wanted to touch on you a little bit with Sheffield when you were with the Ingles, and one thing you always said it was great about it was that number one, it was routine, you got back into, but also you were saying how in America it was a little bit outdated in terms of how you got the weight off some of that, whereas in Sheffield with Ingles it's you know, Dominic is known for his style of training in terms of sports science, taking us down to the university, and diet with Greg and Dominic.
Yeah.
Was that something that really opened your eyes and something that you would still probably instill in your camps now?
Yeah, like Dominic's is a world class, or top class, world class trainer. You know what I mean? And he's proven it throughout the years. Like everything, like there's nothing I can say. Like I'm not, and I want to put this out there. Just because I got beat, that's not why I left Ingles. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying, oh, I'm beat now, I gotta change things up. That's not the case, you know what I mean? I got on great with Dominic, Greg, Simon, John, everyone in the gym, and all the lads in the gym. I got on great, but it just wasn't clicking for me. Do you know what I mean? There's some positives that I can take away from that time of training there and learning from there, and there's some things that I won't take away from there. But at the end of the day, everybody's different. Some things work for some people, some things don't work for other people. I just didn't feel like everything clicked together for me there. Do you know what I mean? Whether it was still being away from home, whether it was the way the training was going, or whatever it was, it just wasn't clicking there for me. Do you know what I mean? But I still have a good relationship with Dominic and all the lads in there, and you know what I mean? Like this is what the sport is all about. It's about making friendships as well, because boxing, it's a tough old game, you know what I mean? And the more friendships and the good fun and journeys that you can go along, the better, like, you know. So I've had a great time in Sheffield, and I've learned a lot of things. I've learned things that I will take away. There's some things there that I won't take away. There's things that just didn't work, didn't fix, didn't gel, didn't connect right for me, and that's part of the reason for moving away, you know what I mean? And I think like a big thing of it is going to be being closer to home and everything like that as well.
Yeah.
That's the main goal, you know what I mean?
It's good that it allows you to take certain things away from. You've been exposed to so many different things in terms of you've been in America, you know that's not for you. You've been to the Ingle gym, and you've been in a gym where there's lots of people in it, and lots of guys who are current and ex-world champions. So that's another thing that you thought, you know, maybe that's not for me either, you know. But at least you can take away the nutritional side or the sports side, because Dominic's always really well known for getting fighters to peak at the right time. You look at Cal Brook when he was with him, you always felt like Cal peaked his fight weeks. And then when he went away to a different guy, he said, oh, I'm loving the training, I'm loving it. But you could see he just didn't peak at the right time for his fight. But it's kind of funny how the world works, because you were training with Billy, and Billy W, champion at the time, and then you're being trained by the fella who took the belt off now. You know, it's funny how the world works like that, you know.
And no matter what job or what line of sport or anything you're in, it's always a small circle. You know what I mean? You have to understand that this world might seem like a big, massive place, but it's not. It's very, very small, and you're going to keep coming across the people that you meet in life, and whether you meet them when you're a teenager, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or whenever you meet them, like, you're always going to keep coming across the same people if you're still kind of in the same environments, still kind of in the same job patterns and things like that there. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's the special thing about this world as well, and it's also a good learner for people to always be very respectful and always know that you can come across these people again. Like, never diss nobody, or never like blow anybody off or anything like that. You always have to be very wary that, you know, do right by them and could come back around and they could have to do the right for you then, you know what I mean? So it's a great journey that boxing takes you on. You meet so many characters, you meet so many individuals, and you just learn so much, that stuff that you can never learn at school.
Yeah. Obviously, I suppose you've probably been asked this already, and you probably get asked about him all the time because he's about, you know, Golden Boy. Did you watch the Canelo fight the weekend? And then did you also watch the Katie fight as well?
Yeah, I watched both fights, and it was actually, you know, great fights of both of them. I thought Katie's was a lot more exciting. Do you know what I mean? Because the girl that she fought, she was game, like, you know what I mean? And you could see the game plan gelling together, you know what I mean? You could see Katie trying to keep her off, and you could see the other dog trying to get on top of Katie and things like that. And, you know, it was a great performance from Katie, and, you know, she's wrote herself in the history book. She's constantly doing things that no other woman has done before, and she's a class act. Like, and the thing that I always say about Katie, see how good and how undisputed she is inside the ring. She's twice the person outside it, and that's what's so special about Katie. You know what I mean? She's an absolute just idol for any sports star, anybody in general. You know what I mean? And I just really wish her all the best, and I hope that she can go on and make as many records as she can, and you know what I mean, go into as many history books as she can.
Yeah.
And then you have the likes of Canelo and Kovalev too. Like, it was a great fight. Do you know what I mean? You could see the game plans going there. I think it lacked that spark. There was just no real spark, or no real, like, there's no real from either man, you know what I mean?
He seems a totally different person to who he was when he fought Andre Ward.
You know, he definitely is. And
there was that much in it when he fought Andre Ward.
Exactly. You know, it's and that's what happens with age and with time and everything like that. There, you know, people change over time, and you know, I think Kovalev changed over time, not to suit his boxing career. You know, so. Look, that's the way things are, and I think Canelo boxed the right fight. You know, he pressured him. I think Kovalev could have give it back a little bit more. Do you know what I mean? He was letting the smaller guy kind of bully him, and he wasn't really keeping him off as well as he could. Like, Kovalev's a light heavyweight, fully fledged, blowing light heavyweight fighter. He could have started letting him go a wee bit more venom, a wee bit more viciousness behind his shots, but he didn't. Maybe he was in there to get his payday, and he'll call it a day now, who knows. But there's Canelo, he goes into the history books, a four-time world champion in different weights, and you've got to give him credit also.
So, your next fight?
Next fight now is going to be December 5th in California, Los Angeles. I'm excited for this. It's going to be a good fight. Looking forward now to getting back in. It's going to be an 8-10 round fight. I think they have an opponent confirmed there now. I'm not 100% yet on it, but I think there's a few there that have good records. You know what I mean? They've only like 4 losses out of about 20 fights, so it's going to be a good fight for me. It's a fight now that I want to come back and I want to put in a good performance, get a good victory, chill out, relax, enjoy Christmas, and come back into 2020 fully fledged, strong, ready for redemption.
Are you able to tell us who your opponent is?
I'm not 100% yet. Don't want to throw out a name there yet because it could be changed. You know what I mean?
Of course,
don't want to throw out a name there yet. But Golden Boy and my management team have it all together, I think, right now at the minute.
And whereabouts are you sparring? Are you sparring mostly Paddy? And
I'll be
sparring
with Paddy. I'll be sparring. I was out today in the Coliseum gym. I did a few rounds with Luke Keeler. I was also be up in Inchicore with Big Tony Brown, I think, as well, the amateur light heavyweight. Do you know what I mean? And that's the thing, like, people think you have to go to L.A. and make away for all this great sparring, but you know, when you actually look around you, it's all here. And you know, I'm getting great sparring, and as I said earlier, things are coming together good. I'm feeling good, starting to flow nicely, and ready to rock and roll come December.
You look at the fights now that are in your pool, and it's funny, I interviewed Luke before his fight in June. I think it was around May I interviewed him, and at the time I kind of mentioned your name, and I know you were with different management companies and stuff like that, but he was like, that's kind of the place I'd like to get to. Like it'd be great to have a fight here for a belt, whatever. But he says Jay's kind of here to run. I'm almost there. Do you know what I mean? And now it's kind of a position where he's just about to fight for. You know, so it's mad how it just literally a few months changes. And is that something that you would love to do? You know, possibly.
Like of course, like we're Irish and we're proud people, and we want to fight in our home country. But we don't want to get into the ring and fight for nothing. Like, you know what I mean? We want belts on the line. We want people to be excited about things, and we want the money to be good. And this is what it's all about. Like, we're not in here to friggin'. If we wanted to do that, we'd go out in the street and fight every weekend, like, just to please people. But you know, we put our lives on the line as well, and we want to get in there. We want to get our rewards. We want to have belts on the line. We want to have plenty of money and the checks, and you know that's what it's all about. And of course, you know, it'll be a great fight. Like, there's been so many talks about Irish fighters. Like, I remember one time somebody says to me, would you ever fight Andy Lee? Do you know what I mean? Like, that was a few years ago when Andy was still fighting, and you had the likes of Andy, you have the likes of Killer, you had the likes of Spike's name was thrown up a few times as well. Cummings' name was thrown up a few times.
I think Spike would be more likely because of the platforms that he's fought on. He's fought on
Golden Boy have him as well, you know what I mean? So look, I'm open to all these options, do you know what I mean? But you have to be coming into Ireland. We know the Irish support, we know the way they get behind their fighters. So imagine having two Irish fighters fighting for a world title eliminator or a world title itself. That's what it's all about, you know what I mean? And I'm open to all these things. Look, I chat to Spike, I chat to Luke, everything like that. But once you step in the ring, I'm going to take your head off, or you're going to take my head off. Let's go and do it. And that's the name of the game. But at the end of the day, look, it's exciting time for boxing. Do you know what I mean? Ireland is booming in the amateur game and the professional game, and it's a very exciting time. And you know, I'm excited.
Just not in our shows. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It'd be great now. You know, if they could start cracking a few shows on in the 3 Arena. Do you know what I mean? Getting the big fights back in Ireland, because to be honest, it's a sin that it's not happening. Because the Irish fans deserve it. The Irish fans going to get behind it. You know, the boxers are going to deserve it. We're going to get behind it, and you know, it can be massive. It's about getting it together and making it happen.
Yeah, I think in a perfect world, if you were all under the same umbrella, you know, it'd be Katie, yourself, and Luke, and then Mickey Collin, and it'd be a great card.
Like,
you know,
imagine. I don't like saying this, but imagine boxing's like the UFC. Do you know what I mean? Where all the fighters is under Dana White. There's 2 matchmakers. They make the fights. Everyone fights. Do you know what I mean? That'd be exciting times. But we're in a different sport. We're in a different run organisation, and we just have to let it all happen. Let it all fall into place.
I really appreciate your time, and I'm really looking forward to actually seeing your fight now in December, and how next year goes. You know. You never know, we might see you again now then at a Falls Park show or something like that.
And you know, I appreciate your time as well, and especially after a fun Harris beating draw there. You know, I wasn't sure if you were going to come down and interview me or not, but well, no, thanks very much.
You know what? And a few of my mates that like Shell fans and Rover fans, they were like, I'm absolutely devastated. I was like, why? Because now we have to drive up to Finn again after the
everyone
hates
it. Everyone hates coming up to Fun
There's
Park.
no trains going there, and the pitch is like, and like, you know, Finn had such a poor away record, and then you're playing them away, and it's just like all teams, as soon as you get off the bus, like, we want to just go home.
Oh, exactly. We have them mentally beat before they get up there. The journey beats them.
It went from being a little half an hour drive to draw that now. 2.5 hours.
Exactly.
Anyway, look, so really thanks. Really appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Good man.
Thanks very much. Thank you.